Right, welcome back, boys, to Road to $2 million in trading profits in 2026. So far, we're up $342,000, and in this video, I'll explain the strategy that I'm using to get to $2 million. So, in this video, we're gonna go through these two trades that I took, ended up making 36K. Let's get to it. So again, first starting from the basics, the goated pattern that I'm gonna be trading is called the bull flag. If you watch my videos, you know I talk about this in literally every single video because it's the most important pattern. If you can master this pattern, you're gonna be good to go. And this is the only pattern that I'm gonna be trading for this entire year to get to $2 million. So I'll explain to you what it looks like, where to find it, and how to trade it. So let's imagine you have a stock, right? And it starts climbing up slowly, right? It breaks past this little orange line, which is VWAP, and it breaks past that and it keeps climbing up and up and up. This is the first thing that I need to see before I enter a trade. Because if you're trading in like trending markets, that's where you can make a lot of money. If you're trading in literally sideways markets that just go like this, you're gonna make no money. You need stuff to move up and down for you to make money. And so the bull flag, one of the key components of a bull flag is that it needs to go up before it dips, right? And then it goes back up. So this is the up portion that we need. Don't forget this. Don't make the mistake of trading in just sideways markets. The next thing we have to see is a little bit of a dip, right? Notice how it's not like a drastic, crazy, insane dip. It's not like it goes up and then it just dumps down. We're not gonna trade this, right? Or it's not that it goes up and then these two candles have like massive, huge topping tails like this. That would also be a negative thing that I do not want to see, right? Notice how it's just like a small little dip, right? It's still holding the 9 EMA very well. It's a pretty good dip. And this is what the bull flag looks like right next to the example. So you can see how similar the examples are. In both cases, we have a nice run up over here, then we have a pullback, and then what happens next? Hopefully another run up. So I want to be entering when the next candle opens and it breaks the previous one's high. So when it opens over here and starts to go up and up and up, I'm gonna enter as soon as it breaks this high. That's when I'll enter. And hopefully just squeezes up and then up and then up. That's the entire idea. So let's see what happens, right? In this example, candle opens, it breaks the previous one's high. I've already entered. Then it starts squeezing up and up again, and then it finds some resistance. The whole idea is to hold for as long as possible, and the best way to do that is to sell when you see resistance. Don't randomly sell. Don't be starting a timer and holding for 2 minutes. Only sell once you see resistance. And over here, we could see some pretty obvious resistance, right? That's when I sold. So that is the entire pattern that I'm going to be using to make the 2 million. Now let's move over to the trades that I took today. I took 2 trades on 2 different tickers, right? I took 1 loss on KIDZ. This one is KIDZ. You can see that I entered over here and it ended up being a tiny loss. I got out like a minute later. Tiny loss, nothing crazy. The next trade I took after that was on Mask. And this was the trade I took over here. You can see I entered on this bull flag, ended up squeezing super hard, and I ended up selling over here once it saw some resistance. And that was the entire trade. Now you can see the importance of keeping your losses as small as possible and your winners as big as possible. The loss was only 2.5k. Like it's a small loss, nothing crazy, and the win was 38k. So if you can make your winners insanely big and your losses like a rounding error, that's when you're gonna really start to grow your account. Now, if you want to learn the strategy in even more detail, check out the free trading course. It's the first link in the description. It includes a section on the scanner, how to set it up, entry criteria, exit criteria, and there's so much more in the course. Go check it out. First link in the description. Again, it's completely free. So step 1, what's the first step? The first step is to find the actual stock that we're going to be trading, because I don't trade Apple or Nvidia or any of these things. I only trade stocks, and specifically small cap stocks. So the way we find them is through something called a gap scanner, right? I talk about this in literally every one of my videos. Find the gap scanner. Now you can find it on TradingView in the built-in scanner. You can find it on Finviz. There's even YouTube live streams where they're live streaming the scanners. So this is exactly what a gap scanner looks like. On the left, we have all the tickers, KIDZ, NPT, blah, blah, blah. And on the right, we have the gap percentage. This shows us how much they're gapping before the market opens. And as soon as you have this list, you're good to go. You don't need anything else. We just need a list of like 1 or 2 stocks that we're going to be focusing on from the list over here, and that's it. And the next thing we need is news. Now, to be honest, I don't really look for news anymore. I used to look for news a lot, but nowadays I'm finding out that stocks can make massive moves even if there's no news. So news isn't very important, but if you can find news on a stock that you like, that gives you a lot more confidence that it's going to work out. So like I said, news is not super necessary, but it's always good to have. And news is the reason, by the way, that these stocks go up in the first place. It's because something happened that caused the stock to just start rallying super fast and therefore starts gapping up when market opens. It's because of some news like this. Now, the second step is to wait for a bull flag. So again, reminder, the bull flag looks like this. It's a very simple pattern. We need a move upwards, we need a little dip, and then we need to move right back up. That's the entire idea. So this, for example, is a stock that I was looking at. This was the trade that I took. You can see that the stock surges past VWAP, right? But then it kind of dies off a little bit. So it's kind of going down, 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 whatever, right? Let's see what happens next. Next, it starts going up. So now it's above VWAP. And remember I said that we need to see a trend upwards before the dip? Well, it's already trending upwards. So now all we need to wait for is a dip and then we can enter. Let's see what happens next. We can see that dip forms right over there. This is perfect. Like this and this looks the exact same. This is literally perfect. An added bonus, by the way, this is some saucy stuff, is check out the volume. The selling volume is very low compared to the buying volume. This is also another indicator that this is highly likely to work out. Now the next thing we need to do is we just need to wait for the next candle to open, break this red candle's high. Once it breaks the high, we're going to be entering. And that's exactly what happens over here. As it breaks it, I enter, it squeezes up, keeps squeezing up, and keeps squeezing up, and then I finally sell once I see some resistance. So I keep holding this, keep holding this. And by the way, over here, the stock actually ends up halting. Now what this means is the stock went up too fast, too quick. I think it's like 10 cents. If the stock goes up 10 cents in like a second or something, the stock ends up halting. And what that means is for 5 minutes, trading is halted on that stock. You can't buy or sell shares for 5 minutes, sometimes even 10 minutes. And so 5 minutes later, the stock opens back up and keeps squeezing back up. But like I said, I didn't really like it because you can see all these topping tails. So I ended up just selling right over there. And from this trade, like I said, 38K. This is what happens when you wait for good quality setups. You try hold your winners for as long as possible. This is the result that you get. Now, step 3 is to sell. And again, the main thing you have to keep in mind is resistance, resistance, resistance. Like, this is the reason you should be selling, and this is the way that you can hold your winners for as long as humanly possible, is by focusing on resistance. Why did I sell this stock? Well, if we look over here, I ended up selling it on this time frame over here, on this candle above over here, right? Now, the reason I sold it was you can see this like yellow box. There's a lot of resistance. We have a couple of topping tails on these candles, right? And it's not really breaking, it's not making new highs anymore. It tries to make a new high, but it finds resistance. It tries to break this one's level, but it finds resistance. And so there's a lot of resistance, so I'm just gonna sell. And so I end up selling on this candle over here. Again, the whole idea is to hold your winners for as long as possible, and resistance, specifically looking for resistance, is the best way to achieve this. So now let's go through a live recording of me taking this trade and exiting this trade so you can see it in real time. Right guys, so we're on the recording, we're about to click play, and then you can see me entering this trade. So again, this is the perfect bull flag setup. I enter over there. As soon as it breaks the high, I get filled over here, right? You want to get filled as close to the high as possible, but that's not always possible, and I get filled a little bit higher. Anyway, start squeezing up. We're about to break high of day. We break high of day, which is amazing. Now we're at $2. It's still holding its level well. It's trying to squeezes again. Now we're at 207, a high of 207. This is very great stuff, squeezing fast. Still squeezing, 208 is a new high. Still making new highs. It's holding this level very well. I'm still holding the stock. Squeezes again, 209, 210, 227. Like, you see how fast that is? It went from like 209, 2010 to 227. Now, 227 is a very important price because this price is the highest point in pre-market. And I always make sure to put a line so I know where the highest point in pre-market is. So now we're going to see that it finds a bunch of resistance at this pre-market high price. Because what happens is you have a lot of sellers that are just dumping their shares at the pre-market high price. So it's going to find some resistance, which is fine, but I'm going to continue holding this because it's holding its level well. It's not selling off. It's not a huge topping tail. We're going to continue holding this. So I continue holding it. Starts going up, makes a new high over there. And look at this. Look at how fast it's making a move. Makes a new high, goes up, and it literally gets halted right over here. Like trading is stopped. I cannot trade the stock. I need to wait 5 minutes for the stock to open right back up. So I wait 5 minutes and the stock opens up at 260, finds some resistance. We make a new high and now it's starting to find some resistance. This is very normal after a halt. Everyone's buying and selling and buying and selling. You get massive dips like this, but I'm still holding. Still holding because you can see all the dips are starting to get bought back up slowly and slowly and slowly and slowly. It's pushing the price upwards. We have buyers pushing the price upwards. So I'm going to continue holding the stock. Then it makes a new high, finds some resistance, dips a little bit, right? But you can see it just continues to just make a new high, make a new high, make a new high, make a new high. And then on this candle, it tries making a new high, but you can see right over there, it fails. It can't break above this level and it gets sold off. So this is the first clear sign of resistance, right? Another candle later, it tries making a new high and it can't. And then this candle, the last one, is the deciding candle. Because if this candle cannot break this level, I'm going to sell. Let's see, can it break it? No, it can't. See? It can't break that level. And then slowly it begins to get sold off. And then when I see that, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to sell this. This is as high as I can possibly sell it. I need to lock in my profits. I'm going to sell the stock right there. And that's when I sell. Now, if you want to see the trades that I'm taking and follow along, the best place to do that is inside the community. You can see people are making wins every single day. Lily made $372. Deb made $201, then lost $23. Ashley made $1,000. I can just keep scrolling. People are trading the same strategy and they're making wins. Another thing when you join the community is you get the watch list. So every single day, I tell you guys the stocks that I'm going to be focusing on. So you don't even need to do the analysis. I just tell you. And it goes back for so long. It's just every single day. You also get live movers. So when a stock begins to make a move and I like it and I'm watching it, I notify you guys every single day. In the community, you also get access to all of my live trades. So just like the recording I showed you in the video, you get access to every single one of my recordings that I've ever made for every single setup. It doesn't matter if it's a win or a loss, I always show the recording in these videos. So to join the community, email me at thedrakerroom@gmail.com and I'll try to get you a spot inside. The price is going to be increasing every 10 members, so if you do want to get in, email me as soon as possible. Then you could be making profitable trades as well.